Whenever you go to anywhere and talking, for the average Nigerian, don't mind this man. That's how all of them talk. So I always tell them, let's deal with that issue that is bothering everybody. And I start with the issue of corruption. My case with the issue of corruption is not because of what you read in the papers, which for me is actually confusing and working against all of us. But the reason why it is important that we deal with the issue of corruption is that corruption kills three things that keeps a society. Corruption kills entrepreneurship. Nobody is enterprising in a corrupt country because you're not appreciated. That is why Demola is where he is today. I don't think anybody have an interest and have the knowledge this man can boast of when it comes to ICT. I always use him to tell people that if Bill Gates was here, he would have been a poor man. So is Steve Jobs. All these things, they would have been poor. And I'll bring it to encouraging people to. They were not appreciated because of corruption. Because we celebrate nothing for those who are working. Go and ask anybody who have a business today. Whether you have a car shop or anything, you don't sell, you don't do anything. Those who are enjoying it. Corruption kills professionalism. I don't know any of you young people who is striving hard to be a professor. In America today, in UK, everywhere, young men are priding themselves as being professor at 30, professor at 20, professor at 20, at 27, at this, at that, and everything. Here, nobody's working hard to do that. Why would you strive hard to be professor at 28 or 30 when councillor or local government chairman have bought a new Jeep? What are you going to crack your brain to be writing books? I asked a group of students the other day, I said, do you know the world's greatest scientists? These are science students in university. I said, the living greatest scientists today, they don't know. I said, Steve Hawkins, whom everybody, when he wants to speak in Oxford, everybody surrounds him to me. I said, he doesn't talk. He doesn't hear. He's on life support. I've watched him twice. When they bring him with his wheelchair inside this thing, nothing. They just put all sorts of wires in his head as he's talking. Everybody's shocked. Why would this man who is here, he does not talk, he does not do anything. One of the lecturers I met is this, in the past 1 year since I left government, I've had to spend 1 month in Oxford, 6 weeks in Cambridge, in Harvard, in all the. One of the lecturers I just met was a crippled. But I can tell you, when she started talking, it was shocking. I said, in my country, you won't have a chance. Nobody will give her a chance. Talk less of those who are complete haven't even are looking for something. And then is this one? So it's a problem. That's what corruption do to people. It kills hard work. Why would I be working hard every day when this person suddenly, Peter Obi became governor, he owns the houses in Ikoyi, in Victoria Land, by Tama, Asoko, everything. So it is a critical thing. But how do we fight this world called corruption? It's centered in the corporate world. Don't think it's only in government, though. It's in corporate world. I was in the bank, I was chairman, I was everything. You see people tell you, a bank that is in Nigeria, I was quarreling with people, that we're going to have board meeting in London. What can we decide in London that will make a difference if we decide it here? Nothing. Nothing. Apart from waste. The corruption is everywhere. The challenge is that, are we doing it the right way? Are we doing the right things? My dear, I can tell you what you're reading in paper is minor. Why do I say so? No. There's a confusion here and there. Under Shagari, we jailed people 300 years. Do you know how much was missing then? Almost 40-something, because then it was 1 naira to $1. Almost 40-something billion was missing. When we did our Kibo panel, have we forgotten? He said $12 billion oil windfall is missing. Under Abacha, it was the same thing. Under Obasanjo, it was 16 billion NIPP money. So we've been hearing this billion. You know, now this one is even less. It's 2, and they're sharing it to people here and there and everything. I would say this one is even less. You know, and I also tell people, fairness people will say because I'm close to Jonathan, and I tell them, I said, none has been finding his account. Oh. The other ones will find a lot. But however, the question is not a question of what is happening now. It's how do we stop this drift? And I said something in the beginning. We're even going about it the wrong way. Why do I say we're going about it the wrong way? I want the government to vigorously and aggressively tighten the loopholes on which this is happening, and then put in place other areas of the economy. We're not talking about our economy today. We're not talking about education today. We're not talking about health. We're not talking about this. We are focused on corruption. For me, I always said, we are like a man who is in a grocery shop where all his goods will expire with time. And some people have come and collected something. He shut down the shop and was chasing those who stole something. By the time he comes back, all these goods have expired. We have a bigger problem. Let's deal with the economy. Let's talk about the economy. Let's talk about education. Let's talk about other things. And then let's deal with those who have taken our money simultaneously. And we will deal with it. And let's start it. Do you know the first thing you need to do to stop corruption? Stop money passing through the system is passing today. When I started giving money direct to the schools, the corruption in our Ministry of Education went to 0 because there's nothing left. We went to supervision. And if you put money here, maybe only chaplain will keep quiet. Just maybe exonerate him. All of us here will be struggling for it. Whether you like it or not, even me who is talking now, if they throw down, come here and put 10 million, our language will change. All of us will be talking, who gets what? Out of it, immediately. But when people don't see it, it is a different thing. Look at America. If they throw money on the street, people will jump from bus to come and pick it. But when you do it where it's seamless, look at it now, they said, we are paying money into the banks. With BVN, they now found out that a particular civil servant was taking money of 20 persons. Didn't you see it? 20. One person, any salary of 20. One person. And it's been ending this over the years. So that's why I said the problem is bigger than what we are seeing. Because with just one person, I can tell you those type of people all over the place. Cloned everywhere. And nobody's seeing them. It's same thing everywhere. Are we stopping the corruption today? No. I say pass through airport and everything. And you still see it. So there's a lot we can do to stop it. And there's a lot that is happening. I thank them for whatever is happening and everything. Like Dimola said, do I see them Do I work with them? Do I do this? I see everybody. And I say people, I pass through government. I always say it anyway, I'm not a saint. But what I used to tell people then is that I cannot claim that this contractor gave me 1 billion. But I can say I built this road. And nobody can question it. When I said I left 75 billion, people questioned it. I'm sure all of you have read it where it was. What did I do? The next week I published all the accounts in the newspaper with statement because it's in bank in Nigeria. Nobody can say I did not live in Fidelity Bank for $6 million on 17th of March 2014. I left $50 million in Access Bank, 50 in Diamond. There are banks here. So I can quote it anywhere because they are here. And you cannot take it away. I did not owe one pensioner or one salary or any contractor. If any contractor can come here and say he supplied me goods, I didn't pay him before leaving them, let him come. And when I quoted it, everybody kept quiet because they know I have the documents. Everything I signed as the governor, I have a copy. Everything I signed. The moment I've seen me, I worked till 2 a.m. Because one of the things that happened to me as the governor is that when I came, it might not be right, it might be right, it might be wrong. They say, assistant director, this is the limit. Deputy director, limit. Director, limit. PAMSEC, limit. Commissioner, this limit of approvals of money. And I looked at everybody and said, listen, every couple that is going to be approved by here is me. No person. Nobody have a limit here. Only me. I want to be wholly responsible for every money that... They wrote me back and said, then you must treat at least 50 files a day. I replied to my head of service, I said, I'll do 75. And every day I was hitting 100. I sit down, approve it. That's when I knew that if you tell a civil servant from Lagos to go to Ogun and come back, it will take you 2 days. 1 day to go. 1 day to stay in Ogun. The next day to come back. Even me, governor, I will go to meeting in Enugu in the afternoon. We'll go to meeting in Enugu, we'll come back. They will write it 2 days. With all my aids and everything. So I now stop it. Demola said he sees me travel alone to airport. I didn't start like that. I traveled with 30 people. Even when I started. This one is protocol, director of protocol, assistant director of protocol. Movement distance. They have everybody have a title. Everybody have a title to go. Police, SS, army. I went with them. It cost us 30,000 to buy ticket one way. So 30 people moving, 900 and something thousand. It was $1 million one way. Coming back, another 1 million. We stay in hotel. So each trip I go to Abuja, which I go about 2 times, is 10 million. What is worse? I'm the only person invited for meeting in Abuja. So all these people who are following me, are in hotel. I know what it means. You know when people are idle, they eat more. So they're in hotel eating for me to come back and pay for it. So it was a huge cost to us. So I then called the IG of police then, Onovo. I said, Onovo, you know what you do for me? Whenever I come to Abuja, you give me 3 policemen. 3. That's why I don't go with police. SSS will give me 2. They're 5. So whenever I'm coming to Abuja, I call them. And I had a very good ADC. He understood it. I explained it to him. Why we wouldn't waste our money. So he calls them. They bring those people. When I go back, once they finish, I go to the airport, I give them 5,000, 25,000, which is not to open the ticket of one person. So they go. Because I won't carry my bag. I go my way. So I had no reason to go with them. I had no reason to carry them. So you use public money to carry 30 people who have nothing to do with in Abuja. They constitute a nuisance to the traveling public. They do all sorts of things and everything, even constitute a nuisance to you, because by the time they are pushing people and doing this, even those who will give you good idea, you won't listen to them. Because there's so much confusion. So these are the costs I'm saying. They are the corruption that we're talking about. It is not just this thing. Then charter plane, which is the vogue now. For me to charter plane from Enugu to Abuja is $15,000. I'm telling you the cost. That's what it costs, 15. Come back, 15. These are people who have never entered the plane before we voted for them. Oh. Quote me anywhere. Who have never entered the plane. I had a deputy. He had never entered the plane. Today, according to be my deputy governor. When I told him we were going to Abuja, he said he would come with the bus. Right? Now, suddenly, they are chartering plane. So, one way going, I had a trip that took place in the past 8 months by a governor who accompanied somebody overseas. And we paid, the state paid 40-something million. That's what it costs. I have traveled to South Africa. South Africa. Just to give you, the corruption is very serious. I've traveled to South Africa. I was supposed to leave with President Jonathan on 8 a.m. to South Africa. I was told we would depart 8:30. His people called me, and I said, okay, I will join him. But there's no flight from Enugu that will get to Abuja by 8. They said they will arrange for me to be picked up. No problem. I don't quarrel if anything is free. But when the airline called me, they said, it's $15,000. I said, how come? It's not possible. That I won't do it. I came, they said, so if I go $15,000 to come, $15,000 to come, that's $30,000. Multiply 200, 6 million naira. I called Asaba Airport. There's a 5:30 flight. Because they were giving me this message about 3:30, 4 o'clock. There's a 5:30 flight. Here, one way, 25,000 naira. Because it's only me. I come across here, move across international airport. Which people will tell you, oh, it's risky. I said, well, if they're kidnapping between these two airports, then nobody will be safe, even with the police. You know? I came here. It cost me 420,000 on business class to go to South Africa and wait for him. To and fro. So what I did was to buy return ticket to Asaba, came here, went to South Africa and told them, I'm waiting for him. We'll receive him when he arrives. I don't need to go to Abuja to follow him in his plane. I will receive him. You go there. When we arrived in the hotel where they booked, for us, it happened to me. I traveled with Yaradua, so the same thing happened to me. They say, after the president is the governor. And the hotel room is going to cost me about almost $2,000 a night. And I said, no. And I told the lady, I said, let me tell you, if I pay it, I won't even sleep. I will be awake. Because I think these people have stolen my money. You know, I want to sleep. All I wanted is to pay to sleep. So I have to pay the one that will close my eyes. And that is $200. If you don't have it, you say, oh, the place they have, then I won't be close to the president. I will be far away from. I said, don't worry, I'll stay there. If he wants me, I'll come. But that is a waste. When we talk about corruption, I talk about waste. A public office holder have to be. And why is this happening? I link it to business. Our managers of our country today and managers of our resources have never created wealth. If a man has never worked, if he has not created wealth, he cannot manage wealth. We need to get them to create the work. If they have gone through what Demola or this man here had gone through, they will make a difference. If I tell you the amount of waste in government, I keep saying, you will not believe it. People in Lagos Business School watched when I told them about my experience with Obasanjo. Obasanjo wanted to visit Anambra State. They said, we'll build presidential lodge. President doesn't live in Anambra State. And they've awarded contract to build presidential lodge for 500 million naira. I said, why? They said it's presidential lodge. It's in every state. I said, he doesn't live here. So why are we going to build it? We went to him. I said, Mr. President, you come in the morning, in the evening you go. You don't need to sleep in Anambra State. Is it not to visit the state? You come. Evening you go back. Or you sleep somewhere else. We don't have a lodge. Everybody say, oh no, we'll go and do the lodge. I said, no, we can't. It's impossible. We don't have a lodge. He simply, because he wanted to sleep, he had an urgent meeting. He said he had to host a meeting with the equipment and everybody. I said, okay. I went back. I called these people. I said, come. This is where I live as governor. This is my lodge. Check it. If it's okay, I'll move away for 1 month. So you people can have it. When he goes, I come back. We cannot build a new house because he doesn't live here. They were nice to me. They said, okay, 1 week. So they looked at it and said, it's good. I said, okay, fine. Called my wife. I said, let's go. We packed our things and left the place. He came and stayed there. He came on Friday. I think he came on Friday morning and left on Sunday. Because they took it for 1 week, I paid the hotel for 1 week. It cost me less than 120,000 naira. Because the man had a suit for 30,000. Because it was me, he gave me 50% discount. So I paid him for his money, 120,000. They stayed there for 2 days and I moved back. That's what we would have lost 500 million naira. When I have secondary schools that don't have roof, and they want me to build it. And by now, I will have had somebody working there, keeping it, looking after it, paying them, they're cooking. Every other visitor will come and say, I want to stay in your presidential lodge. I'm running around to cook food for the person. I said, no, we won't have it. We don't. We had 12 guest houses for governor, 12. It's in every state. Governor's guest house. With managers managing each of them. I shut all of them down. I told them the governor goes to work in the morning, in the evening, he should go back to his house and stay with his family. There's no reason to have one guest or the other. 90% of the guests are actually impacting negatively on the state. Because if they are good guests, the wife would have received them. Not in guest house. So when we talk about corruption, I want people to understand, when you talk about young people coming out of school, this corruption is impacting in it. That's why I said it when I was in the bank. This is the only country in the world where banks are loaning people money. The people they've loaned money have failed and they are making profit. So something is wrong. How will you get money? I lived in London. The first money I got from a bank was based on my intellectual capital. Who will give you money here based on your intellectual capital? You have to bring your mother's house, your grandfather's house, put it with everything you have. Nobody appreciates it. Nobody gives you a chance. So young people come out of school, nothing. Nothing. That is where you fight. All the ideas and everything. You have heard about a young Nigerian who sold his company for almost $1 billion recently. You think it will happen if he was in Lagos? Yes, he started here, but he ended up where he was supposed to have been sold for $1 billion. If he was there, it wouldn't happen. I was just telling somebody yesterday that I was shocked. I was sick last year. I've never been sick. One of those things that never happened to me is that as a human being, I've never been to hospital before. Because nothing worries me. But last year, I had something in my system, and they gave me an injection, it dissolved. This year, the same thing reoccurred. And I went to hospital. my regular GP in the UK said, Peter, you have an operation. That's the best thing to remove it. They'll just do an operation and remove it. I said, wait, let me go home first. Give me a date. So they gave me a date in January. So come back in January. I came back on January 4th. Immediately I arrived in the hospital. They brought 2 young doctors that would do the operation. Immediately they opened the door. The first one hugged me and said, my governor. Said, where are you from? He said, from Anambra State. The other one is from Ondo. And they told me these are the best people who can do this. And I can tell you, they are good. Well respected. They are not here. If they are here, nobody will give. If you see where white man was describing me, these 2 people, how wonderful they are. Nobody will give them that type of compliments here. Nobody will. Nobody will give them that type of compliments here. I'm telling you. Told the other one, said, I'm from Ondo, the lead person. Said, I'm from Ondo. We'll do it, no problem. And these are the things we experience every day. Because of what? Corruption.